Well, guys, I'm not exactly sure when
I don't
we
know
lost
what happened.
you. We're not sure when
OBS.
we lost you. Broadcast software shut her down.
We were hot, man. We were running hot.
We were
baby.
rocking. We were rolling, buddy.
Check out my guy out here.
James Carlton, 314-961-4800.
Let's name them all again, and then we'll give the best streaming pick I've had in a long time.
LifetimeSTL.com, Lifetime Roofing and Renovation.
Roof.
Guys, roof. The wind's been crazy. Shingles are probably getting blown off your roof. They also do siding. They do exterior work. They
just
do
did
a
brick
whole
work.
smattering
They just did
of
brick
work.
work.
And you
Put in
should
a new
call them.
door.
And guys, I'm going to tell you, going back to James, give him a call.
Look at him.
Now's a good time to. You got the time. You didn't have time before. You were
shit,
busy.
sorry.
You didn't have time before.
Go
You
to
were
the big
busy.
screen so they can see him. Go to camera main with no chat. Main no chat.
You guys, you haven't had time to talk about your insurance. I get it. We're busy. We're busy people. You're not busy anymore.
Look
At
at him.
least give him a shot at your business. He's going to take care of you. He is going to take care of you. I love James Carlton. I love the service that he provides me.
I'm just looking at his picture.
Exactly at 2 hours, as you just said.
Oh, that's interesting. Not exactly sure. Maybe they just got a beat on us. It didn't populate on YouTube either. So if you were watching on YouTube, let us know. Just curious. So anyway,
Who's gonna get smashed?
real quick, we also Sweetleaf, awesome
Yeah,
sponsors.
they're
We
the
talked
best.
about them in the first hour. They've helped us raise
the
over
best.
$2,000
They're the
for
best.
great causes in the short amount of time they've been with us. Truman's and Soulard. We're going to do something big at Truman's before this is all said. When this is all said and done, we're going to do something great. And before you riff, I just wanted to just a little taste of the psychedelic scrapbook. Buddy.
Okay.
Psychedelic scrapbook. I didn't make one this week, but there was an interesting little article shared in the page today about MindMed. MindMed is, of course, one of the popular
laughed so hard.
companies that are helping bring psychedelics to the mainstream. And so as well as Silo Wellness, our friend Mike Arnold. Those are the two main companies kind of paving the way: Silo Wellness and MindMed. Well, MindMed decided that they have come up with a breakthrough medicine, Steve. A breakthrough medicine, buddy, that can pull people out of an LSD or any other trip.
Catancerin?
It's called Catancerin.
I remember it. The first time I heard that word was actually out of your mouth at an event, Psychedelic Symposium, and
University of Michigan.
riled the crowd up. I don't know how or why.
I don't know how or why either.
But people were like, after you answered the question, she goes, "Great question." The Swiss.
She was
Swede.
I think she's a Swiss chemist, Swiss doctor.
And people like even like the couple wooks, the old people, they were all on your
It's
side
like
there.
nobody had thought about, besides the gal that's giving this lecture, that this thing, which she acknowledges they've used Catancerin for a while in psychedelic studies or in mind mapping studies because it shuts off certain receptors that basically don't allow you to trip, basically, right? So when she's talking about this, I'm like, ooh, well, I mean, if that's the application and it works beforehand, my brain's just like, oh, it probably would work in the throes of a trip. If someone was really freaking out or something, you could probably give them a shot of Catancerin and
Fucking snap 'em out.
snap them right out of it. So I get up, I walk down to the little microphone, I ask her, Katrin Preller is her name. Anyway, so I asked her, hey, is there any plans or have you ever thought to use Catancerin to pull people out of trips if they were experiencing a bad trip? And she's like, Great question. Everybody does the whole round of applause thing, and then she goes into saying, yes, it would pull someone out of an LSD trip. However, I don't think that would be a great idea. We would probably look to something that was like a benzodiazepine or something to calm them down and then ultimately be able to work through the trip because that's the idea. Now, I can see like emergency room application for Catancerin where someone's freaking out, having an anxiety attack. They come in, they're not trying to do the work.
See that very much needed.
I didn't get that until I just got it, which is even better. So it was just this wild hair idea that I had, and then today this breaking news comes out that MindMed has a plan to use the chemical Catancerin to potentially pull people out of deep trips. And it was fucking validating, Steve.
What was great though is Craig got on there and he's like, yeah, Steve, remember who talked about Catancerin? And I was like, yeah, you. And you're like, yeah, well, MindMed.
You're going to make $1 trillion at MindMed.
MindMed is going to make $1 trillion off it, but I was like, yeah, you got to, that's fine and good, but you got a standing ovation from 60 people. Like, come on, bud. Like, what more do you want? $1 trillion? Standing O. You know what I mean?
I'll take $1 trillion.
Yeah, okay.
I'll pay people to cheer me on. Anyway, it made me feel good.
That's good.
More than anything, you needed a little bit of psychedelic content. There you go.
There you go.
MindMed's bringing Catancer and it'll pull you right out of a trip.
You ready?
Yep. We like movies.
So do
You like internet.
So do
Streaming
Picks of the week.
Netflix.
Streaming picks of the week.
In Hulu too.
Streaming picks of the week.
We like the internet
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you watching this week, Steve?
Oh, I watched a good one, bud. It's called Extraction. And it's got heartthrob Thor, the guy who
Chris
plays Thor.
Hemsworth?
God damn, he's just a specimen.
He's a handsome lad, boy.
Yep.
It takes place in Bangladesh, which I've always loved Concert for Bangladesh, so that was the whole deal. That and India. It's like an Indian drug lord versus a Bangladeshian drug lord. And the one is in jail, the other one's still free. And seeing the drone shots of Dhaka, I think is the capital of Bangladesh, it's astounding. Like, what? This is a different world, dude. And the way it's lit, they have a scene, and one drug lord kidnaps the other one's son. Chris Hemsworth is a mercenary, did a couple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now he gets paid by some company to do exactly this. Well, the one drug lord doesn't exactly have the
So
money.
Chris Hemsworth is in like Keanu Reeves, John Wick,
Little bit.
or also like Liam Neeson from Taken, kind of like he's a skilled man. He's got a particular set of skills.
Yes. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's an extractor.
But he is fucked. He's into Oxycontin. He fucking drinks all the time. He's fucked in the head. And they go into why he's fucked up. And it is such a powerful character building moment with him and the like, dude. And
Okay.
So there's a scene like that where you're like, damn, this dude's got some acting chops, and you see why he is the way, because he has pretty much a death wish. Like one of the ladies at the beginning of the movie is like, you don't care about dying. That's why you're good at this. Like,
Yeah.
you're hoping. It's like those old Spartans who are like, please kill
Die
me
on the
on battle.
battlefield. Yeah.
Please let me find someone good enough to kill me. Give me a glorious death.
Yeah.
So he kind of has that going for him. So they get into his whole story. There's a scene where they have to get in a car. They like get out of the car and the camera is following right behind him and the boy as they're running away. And it is some of the best it reminded me, when I first saw John Wick, I think I saw 2, then 3, and then 1. Like I watched them in weird order. But I was like, oh, dude, just how quick he was like, poof, poof.
The fight choreography in John Wick is one of my favorites.
It's
for sure.
the choreography in this, and it's a Netflix movie. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. Transporter was really good about that too.
Transporter's
back in the day.
great.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of cool angles and stuff of the car. This, you're on the ride with them. And what was that movie with Michael Keaton, The Birdman or whatever?
Birdman.
Birdman. How they had that scene
Where
where
it
there were
just
no
moves.
cuts.
Oh, yeah.
There were no cuts. They had to follow him around. They followed him down the street. So like if you mess up one scene 20 minutes into that, you got to reshoot the whole scene from the beginning. And there's all moving parts, kind of like the scene that was shot in Inglourious Bastards in the theater, where he starts up and he shows everybody who has a role is in that theater, and the camera's just moving from one to another, and you're just along for the fucking ride. Dude, I almost will watch it again tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
That's how good it was, dude. Like, it is so just a great. I watch all these action movies. I'm like, it's a dog shit action movie. This is a fucking action movie.
Did you ever
dude.
get into The Kingsman?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Kingsmen are great. The
I
first
watched
one was
them a long
better than
time
the
ago.
second one, but the first one was unlike anything
should
I've
have
ever
come
seen.
out
but
a
it had
long time ago, the first one.
Had some great fight choreography
Yeah.
in that too.
And some
I
new
like when guys
camera
use,
angles
yeah,
and shit.
Yeah, that's super fun. Mike, what you been watching, brother?
So I watched Cooked with Cannabis, and you know, 'cause
so I think
Steve
Steve
didn't
shit all
like
over it
it.
last
He
week,
didn't
yeah.
like it. You know, I cooked when that was one of my first jobs, is cooking. So I love it.
Yeah.
You know, so
I love cooking.
Is
I
it
knew
like
what was going on.
is it a game? Like, is it like a nailed it? Like, is it a game show
It's a
or are they?
competition. It's a competition.
Is it a competition of people that know what the fuck they're doing?
Oh yeah, these people
yes.
are unreal.
And,
Okay.
and the buds are some of the
yeah,
best buds I've ever
yes,
seen. in
and
my
they
life.
talk about like, well,
Who are
I'm
the
using-
judges?
I'm using
They're not
the biggest
best.
douche fucking. That's the problem. The judges and the host. I like
Yeah.
Khalees. The other host.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
that
there's-
dude. Yeah.
I love Khalees.
But the other guy negates her. He's so awful.
Craig might like
He
him.
that's like
Craig
a
might
guy
like
who
him. You
talks
don't
like
like him. He might like him. Who knows?
I
Who is it?
guarantee Craig will hate this show because
Okay.
he hates all things that are like that
Okay.
type of. And I am starting to too.
Okay.
It's like that.
is it a weed
See, but I
stereotype?
don't watch that. Type
Pretty
of
much.
Like is it like?
Like let's
Except that-
eat and get
that.
stoned, dude, and like yeah. Look, the judges. Ricky Lake said something funny.
Ricky Lake's a judge?
It changes
It's-
for
they're all
judges each
different.
week.
They're
I'm
all
with you.
different.
I'm with you.
So
Okay.
like Joe Coy
consistent.
was one, and
I like Joe Coy. He's all right.
it's just they're trying
I'll check it out.
so hard, dude.
So-
I had to turn it off.
My other one was Absurd Planet.
What is Absurd
I can't
Planet?
wait to watch
Absurd
that.
Planet. So smoke a little bit, eat some edibles, sit back
Allegedly.
with your significant other, and take a look at Absurd Planet. It is fun.
would hate
It's
it for
a glimpse into the quirky lives of the animals under the sea,
Yeah.
and it's really neat.
I wanna
Kids
watch
will
it with
like
my
it
kids.
too.
Yeah.
Kids will love it.
'Cause
I'll get lost in the nature. I'm the one more so than anybody in the house. I'm like,
buddy.
I'm on
Yeah.
that job.
You get on some ketamine
Yeah.
and watch this shit. No, but they're like, oh, the blobfish, look at him. He's got no life. And like they come up with like a storyline
Yeah.
for each
Oh,
animal.
that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it is.
Yeah,
It is
when I
cool.
started watching it, and I was like,
You're like,
no,
this
I
is
need
what
the
I'm supposed to
kids.
be doing.
Yep.
Right on. That's
what do you
on
watch?
Netflix.
Yes, both of them.
Yours is on Netflix too.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. I'll stay on Netflix.
Where are you
My guy, Duncan Trussell show,
I
came out
cannot wait to
on
watch this.
4/20. It's the Midnight Gospel.
I hate the
And,
animation though.
I know you hate the animation. I don't mind it. My
I
kids.
love Duncan Trussell.
My
so
kids
much.
are on. My
like
kids
Steven
are on
Universe.
the.
You ever watch
Help me
Steven
out, what's
Universe?
the- Adventure Time, like Adventure
Yeah.
Time and all those. Like it's kind of a similar animation style. I don't mind it. And ultimately, what it is, it's like it is a perfect depiction of what Duncan Trussell is doing on his podcast. If you guys haven't checked out the Duncan Trussell Family
Brilliant.
Hour, it's one of my favorite.
Brilliant.
It's one of my favorite podcasts going, especially when he gets
It's
off
my
into
favorite.
psychedelia. He's got some great he studies so he's so astute in world religion. I mean, you want to learn about Hare Krishna, he can teach you about it.
He got me into
Buddhism. I mean, he's
He's a little bit of all.
he's got Jack Cornfield on, and they'll talk about meditation techniques, and he's very deep. But he's also like a walking dick joke. Like, and I love that about him. I really do. I think that if our style crosses over to anybody who's quote unquote made it, it's Duncan.
Yeah.
And I think you're a big part of that. I think you and Duncan just kind of
See the world
I think
very
you guys.
similarly.
Well, mannerisms, just the way you carry yourself, the shit that makes you laugh, and the random comedy that comes about. And he's always making commercials about nothing.
Yes, dude,
Which
it's
is like
so good.
it's fucking great.
I'm
and
the
so
devil.
so the Midnight Gospel, like the first episode, is with Dr. Drew.
He's sticking his head in a big vagina.
Dude,
isn't he?
it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's like, okay, so what it is it just checks all my boxes. It's this interdimensional traveler who ends up on this one incarnation of Earth. All of these other Earths have been destroyed, and he goes down there, and he gets to choose his avatar, his body that he's going to be when he goes there. And so he chooses like the big muscly guy this time, and he goes down there, and Dr. Drew is the president of the United States, but he is like. But the globe is being overtaken by zombies, and so the president's like holed up in the Oval Office having this conversation with Duncan about how to save the world. Meanwhile, he's like picking off zombies with a sniper rifle the whole time, and it's hilarious. They're having a great existential conversation while distracting you with
Yes.
the most cartoon absurdity
So
that they
awesome,
can.
dude.
But more than anything, I hope it leads people to Duncan. and to some of his stuff. And if
Yes.
anybody like wants,
Brilliant.
you can listen to any of his sit downs with Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
They're some of the most entertaining ones there
My
are. You listen to
favorites.
him with our buddy Shane Moss. Listen to him with Aubrey Marcus. Like when you get with him and he starts explaining the psychedelic, that shit is for me. And the Midnight Gospel is a celebration of that because he's just always trying to give meaning to this thing and then that thing that we also
He's
know
so
exists
creative,
out there.
too.
He's super creative. It's super fun.
I will watch it. I'll
Midnight
probably watch that
Gospel.
tonight.
Get over the animation. I still got episodes to watch. Like the animation is a bonus to the
Yeah,
conversation
that's true.
that's going
That's
on
true.
there. So, Midnight Gospel.
You made me think of something. I'll give you a bonus podcast pick of the week, and I want you to listen to this.
I want you on the news.
I'll go on the news. It's Aubrey Marcus, and he's talking to a South African animal tracker, lion tracker.
Oh, I just started it.
Is it not the shit?
It's on the Aubrey Marcus podcast.
The Aubrey Marcus podcast. It's one
I'll
of the
tell you
most
exactly
recent
what it
ones.
is. Yeah, I'll tell you what it
You
is.
started it? How far did you get?
Not very.
Oh, that is the way, the analogy.
It's episode 253, A Lion Tracker's Guide to Life with Boyd Vardy.
And it is a lion tracker's guide to life.
Those guys are having conversations. There are people living realities and having life purposes of the most fantastical shit that you can imagine. Like a lion tracker. Like, what the fuck does this guy see throughout the day? And the amount of wisdom that comes along with choosing these rugged lifestyles.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
A guy, they buy this land. His dad is a drunken South African bar fighter. His great grandpa, and so he buys this land on a fucking bet. Fuck you, I'll get fucking cattle to ranch there because the land had been barren because they had too many cows there, and so they ate all the grass. Well, when you eat all the grass, when the rain comes, it leaves this scrub or something left over. So the land's barren and. Then the dad takes over the land, and then they realize, or the grandpa, and then they realize that a old wise man comes from the woods and tells them, you have to make a pact with the land. You have to make a pact with you make a pact with the land, and you look at the animals as your kin, and only then will the land come back. So he taught them how to take the scrub and pack it in these areas so that grasslands would grow back. They couldn't graze anymore, so they had this wildlife safari. They got their notoriety because they were a bunch of crazy South Africans who would get people drunk, not see any animals, but people were like, these guys are a fucking blast.
That sounds like my best case life.
That's why I wanted you. I was like, dude, it reminded me of being well, if we lived an alternate life, that wouldn't be a fucking bad
That'd be a
one.
cool
We
one.
got 7 Hoosiers at a place that just take people on safari. Well, we might see an animal, but we have a fucking great time.
We're gonna see something.
Yes, but then they start, a tracker is picking up so much information from the earth, the way the wind is blowing, all of the senses are reeling, you know what I mean? And to have that type of vision, the sense about you, not only in lion hunting, but in overall life, dude, I can't wait for you to listen to it. I'm almost at the end. I had it on in the car and wasn't paying enough attention at the end, so I'm gonna re-listen to it.
I'm
buddy.
8 minutes into it.
Buddy.
Okay,
dude,
cool.
It's a good one.
I'm looking forward to that. It's been a good night, bud.
Yeah.
We missed Starlink. Sorry, guys.
Shit.
We drug you over, but hey, about 10 after 9 tomorrow. You can
They
go
can
out
watch
there,
this outside. They can do
check
it.
out. Yeah, you might be on your phone checking out this whole time. They're like, that's why we lost everybody earlier.
Starlink.
Starlink, fucking
Damn
shut
it.
it down.
All right, guys.
I don't know, guys. Get a chance, check
Who are our
out the
sponsors?
interview I did with Lisa Roark and Judy Thurston. Grow Trade Fest. Get your tickets now. Go to thegrowtradefest.com. I really can't wait for that event. September 17th through the 20th at the Lodge of the Four
Come
Seasons
out
in
there.
Lake
It'll
Ozark.
be- you
It
deserve
is-
happiness.
It is awesome. We're gonna have a campfire sing-along down by the water. We're gonna catch some hogs. We're gonna catch some bill hog. Maybe Bob Battlehawk will show up. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he'll
I'm
come on out
excited.
there, dude. 'cause
Super excited.
Bobby talked to me the other day, and he's upset. I mean, I've had to talk him down off the ledge. Jordan Ta'amu went to Kansas City. Kenny Robinson got drafted.
Yeah.
The whole damn thing. At
first
just
I
falling
thought-
a goddamn part.
First, I thought Kenny Robinson was that guy who ran out on the field, and I was like, someone drafted that guy? What was that guy's name? Kenny
Boyd?
Yeah. I was like, shit, you can get drafted.
No doubt. I'm
Show
fucking
some
doing that right
wheels.
now. I hope the XFL comes back.
Guys, we appreciate you so much for being a part of the fan page, for everything. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can win a Kind pen, a Chillum, and a native hemp thing. Bottle of native hemp thing, Jesus Christ. Bottle of delicious 1,800 milligram hemp oil, full cannabinoid hemp oil.
It's unbelievable.
Grown in Pike County, Illinois.
It is.
So, all right, guys, that's the show. We hope you got a little bit of value out of it, because, you know, that's what we do, is bring straight fucking value.
We got a new episode of The Great Big Blow coming to you soon.
Eventually. We got a new camera coming up, and that's really what pees me out, because shipping's crazy right now.
We'll have one more show in before we get the camera.
And then we'll have a cam link, and then Thursday, too, we got...
Thursday, tune in to Hoosier Sophisticate. We are going to be going live with Bo from Grow Active Solutions.
This should be interesting.
For the Stay at Home Grow series. Which,
We're going mobile.
No, he's coming to us.
He is?
Yeah. He's coming to us the first two
decided
times.
that?
We're going to him the third time.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, because we talked about everything.
That's all good. We did talk about everything. Oh, yeah, we're good. Yeah, so Bo's coming here.
Sweet.
Thursday, we're going to teach you.
Bo knows grow.
Bo knows grow. Bo knows grow real well. Hydroponics 101 with the guys from Grow Active Solutions. And the Stay at Home Grow series has been pretty cool. There's been a bountiful knowledge. Evolution Magazine's putting it on. There's basically...
Follow Evolution Mag.
Follow Evolution Mag. Do it. But all of us are involved, right? Ricky Starling's a part of it. Nate Bowman's a part of it. If you're... anybody who's anybody is doing it. Doing the damn
B
thing.
Team Media is what we like to call ourselves.
That's what I call ourselves anyway.
Mike, hit us with the logos out here. No, hit him with one more thing.
Hey, do we have any
fun
more
thing.
fun for him before we go?
We do have Jenny and I's song.
Yeah, go ahead. Give
Hit
him
him with that.
Schoolyard.
Which one?
Should we play the Sweet Leaf commercial?
Freaky Friday?
Yeah, play him Schoolyard, Sweetleaf commercial, and end this thing.
Schoolyard coming
Yep.
up.
Mike's up.
He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one. He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one.
The strongest one in the schoolyard. The coolest one in the schoolyard. He's the strongest one in the schoolyard. He's the coolest one in the schoolyard.
Falling in love again in the schoolyard. Again, I'm falling in love again in the schoolyard. I'm falling in love again.
He fell in love in the schoolyard. She's looking at me oh so hard. In the schoolyard we don't play games. In the schoolyard it's not about fame. In the schoolyard you fall in love. The schoolyard is all about love. When you fall in love in the schoolyard, you fall in love in the schoolyard. About dreams, and the schoolyard is not as it seems. In the schoolyard is where we fall, but don't forget who you are.
so strong.